I'm going to read you two things. Poem by Stephen Spender called The Truly Great, which for me refers to John and what he's created here, and apart from his other art. I think continually of those who were truly great, who from the womb remembered the soul's history through corridors of light, where the hours are suns endless and singing, whose lovely ambition was that their lips, still touched with fire, should tell of the spirit, clothed from head to foot in song, and who hoarded from the spring branches the desires falling across their bodies like blossoms. What is precious is never to forget the essential delight of the blood drawn from ageless springs, breaking through rocks in worlds before our earth, never to deny its pleasure in the morning's simple light, nor its grave evening demand for love. Never to allow gradually the traffic to smother with noise and fog the flowering of the spirit. Near the snow, near the sun, in the highest fields, see how these names are fated by the waving grass and by the streamers of white cloud and whispers of wind in the listening sky. The names of those who in their lives fought for life, who wore at their hearts the fire's center. Born of the sun, they traveled a short while toward the sun and left the vivid air signed with their honor. To His Grace, Field Marshal the Duke of Wellington, my Lord Duke, without apology or preface, I presume so far to trespass on your grace as to state to you, and by the use of your illustrious name to present to the British public, the following statement of what I myself have seen within the last 3 days. Having for many years been connected with the western portion of the county of Cork and possessing a small property there, I thought it right personally to investigate the truth of the several lamentable accounts which had reached me of the appalling state of misery to which that part of the country was reduced. I accordingly went on the 15th instant to Skibbereen, and to give the instance of one townland which I visited as an example of the state of the entire coast district. I shall state simply what I there saw. It is situated on the eastern side of Castlehaven Harbour and is named South Reen in the parish of Myros. Being aware that I should have to witness scenes of frightful hunger, I provided myself with as much bread as 5 men could carry, and on reaching the spot, I was surprised to find the wretched hamlet apparently deserted. I entered some of the hovels to ascertain the cause, and the scenes that presented themselves were such no tongue or pen can convey the slightest idea of. In the first, 6 famished and ghastly skeletons, to all appearance dead, were huddled in a corner on some filthy straw, their sole covering what seemed a ragged horsecloth, naked above the knees. I approached in horror, and found by a low moaning they were alive. They were in fever. 4 children, a woman, and at once what once had been a man. It is impossible to go through the details. Suffice to say that in a few minutes I was surrounded by at least 200 of such phantoms, such frightful spectres as no words can describe. By far the greater number were delirious, either from famine or fever. Their demonic yells are still yelling in my ears, and their horrible images are fixed upon my brain. My heart sickens at the recital, but I must go on. In another case, decency would forbid what follows, but it must be told. My clothes were nearly torn off in my endeavours to escape from the throng of pestilence around, when my neckcloth was seized from behind by a grip which compelled me to turn. I found myself grasped by a woman with an infant just born in her arms, and the remains of a filthy sack across her loins, the sole covering of herself and babe. The same morning, the police, opening a house on the adjoining lands, which was observed shut for many days, 2 frozen corpses were found lying upon the mud floor, half devoured by the rats. A mother, herself in fever, was seen the same day to drag out the corpse of her child, a girl about 12, perfectly naked, and leave it half covered with stones. In another house, within 500 yards of the cavalry station at Skibbereen, the dispensary doctor found 7 wretches lying, unable to move under the same cloak. One had been dead for many hours, but the others were unable to move themselves or the corpse. To what purpose should I multiply such cases? If these be not sufficient, neither would they hear who has the power to send relief and do not, even though one came back from the dead. Let them, however, believe and tremble that they shall one day hear the Judge of all the earth pronounce their tremendous doom. With the addition, I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat, thirsty, and ye gave me no drink, naked, and ye clothed me not. But I forget to whom this is addressed. My Lord, you are an old and justly honoured man. It is yet in your power to add another honour to your age, to fix another star, and the brightest in your galaxy of glory. You have access to our young and gracious Queen. Lay these things before her. She is a woman. She will not allow decency to be outraged. She has at her command the means of at least mitigating the suffering of the wretched survivors of this tragedy. There will soon be few indeed in the district I speak of, if help be longer withheld. Once more, my Lord Duke, in the name of starving thousands, I implore you, break the frigid and flimsy chain of official etiquette and save the land of your birth, the kindred of the gallant Irish blood which you have so often seen lavished to support the honour of the British name. And let there be inscribed upon your tomb, Servata Hibernia. I have the honour to be, my lord, your grace's obedient humble servant, N.M. Cummins, J.P., Anmount, Cork, December 17th, 1846.